people? This is Mr. Pac with the TMP podcast, and I want to welcome everybody and thank everybody that subscribes, likes, shares, everybody that's been liking the videos that I've been dropping, like the 50 Cents, the T.Is, the Nicki Minaj's, the Cardi B's, stuff like that. And right now, I've been saying that 50 Cent, his music was more impactful than T.Is. In that era, like I said, I repeat, I'm not saying that T.I. is not a lyricist, that T.I. didn't get better with time, because he did. T.I. has lyrics, T.I. can spit, T.I. could, basically do it all. But that doesn't mean that, that he was way better back in, when 50 Cent came out. Because 50 Cent came out in 2002, 2003. But I think he came out with a song with that How to Rob. He came out with it in I think 99, if I'm not sure. And then after that, he got shot, all that stuff. But when he really came out, man, he really came out, he made an impact. He changed the game. And excuse the noise, man, because it's here in San Antonio, it's military. There's a lot of people out here cruising. It's Sunday. But yeah, like I was saying, he really made an impact, man. He changed the game. And a lot of people don't believe that. A lot of people say, tell me how impactful, or define impactful, or define how did he change the game. He changed the game, man, because he came in with Dre, with Eminem. We all know that, and he basically, he changed the game because he came out within the club. You know what I mean? That was the biggest record back in 2003. The biggest record ever. And to this day, you don't hear nobody saying, oh, happy birthday. Everybody goes like, go, it's your birthday. Like, go shawty. That everybody says that now. It became like a birthday anthem, And not only that, the way, he came with a story, that he got shot, this and that, and he made a movie about it, and basically I'm saying that he changed the game because not a lot of rappers at that time, after Tupac and Biggie were rapping, what they were really going through, like they weren't basically like storytelling. And 50 Cent had it all, man. He had the hooks, he had the storytelling, he had the hits, and like I said, man, it was just different. He changed the game. He impacted the game back in those days, and people that were in that era. And this is what I hate, man, because a lot of people that weren't even in that era, those are the ones that are talking, that they say that define impact, or tell me what about this, tell me what, like, bro, like, you weren't even in that era. You know what I mean? Like, it's like me, like basically criticizing when somebody says KRS-One was the shit back in the 80s, like it was this and that, and then I'm criticizing, I wasn't even born yet when KRS-One was, in the 80s, dominating and bringing hip-hop or whatever it was. You know what I mean? I can't really criticize that because I wasn't even born yet. I wasn't from that era. You know what I mean? And again, it's just your opinion. I know it's your opinion. You guys go by what you guys seen, what you guys heard. But like I said, I was in that era of 50. You know what I mean? From 99 to when he came out, 2003, so on and so forth. You know what I mean? And a lot of people agree with me. They say that, yes, 50 Cent changed the game. But like I said, I'm not saying that T.I.'s whack. I'm not saying that T.I.'s trash. I'm not saying that T.I. doesn't have any hits. He does have hits. You know what I mean? He built a legacy through the years when he came out in 2005, 2004, something like that. 50 was already like, making history. He was already out. He was already, dominating. And like I said, 50 changed the game, man. And a lot of people don't want to admit it. It's like the Eminem stuff. Everybody, you know, says, oh, Eminem, he sells records because he's white, you know, because he has Dre. He, you know, they always have something to say, man. Like I said, and a lot of people are gonna say, yeah, you're a D writer, yeah, Mr. Eminem, Mr. 50 Cent fan, whatever. You know, it's just, I'm saying that I was through that era, you know what I mean? I was in that era, I was in that time, you know, and I witnessed that history, you know what I mean? And like I said, T.I.'s not trash, T.I., he's not whack, T.I. has hits, but I just think that 50 Cent, it's better because he made an impact and he changed the game. That's the only reason that I put 50 over T.I., you know what I mean? That's the only reason. They both got hits, but like I said, 50's music hits harder. 50's music, you know, hits different to me. But let me know in the comments if you want to roast me. Go ahead and roast me. I'm about to get home, but I appreciate everybody. Hope you guys keep liking, sharing, subscribing, and let's go, man. Let's get it. This is Mr. Pot with the Mr. Pot podcast. Work on top of work. Let's go.